folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Well, the sun is peeking up over the horizon, and it is the first morning in quite a while. I chose to put a hoodie on. It's 50 degrees out. That's not freezing by any stretch of the means, but that's definitely got a little chill to it. So for the next few days, it's going to be like that. I think it'll warm up a little bit starting this weekend and into next week, but I don't think we're probably going to have any of the real hot stuff because we're getting into September, and in the Ozarks, September is kind of the beginning of that cool down for the year. You know, not cold, but we're coming off of those real high summer, hot heat, all that kind of stuff. So definitely a change for us around here, and already talking to people around the area, we're gearing up for fall because it feels that way. Those of you that live in the South, you understand what that like false fall kind of thing that happens, and then all of a sudden summer comes back. So anyways, that's interesting. Yeah, so some crazy things have been going on. I talked about it yesterday. I think things are moving pretty fast, so even though we don't know the exact direction, I think we have a pretty good, we can speculate pretty good on where things are going. But so anyways, I think we need to be ready for what is happening. The president yesterday put out a memo firing one of the board of governors for the Federal Reserve Bank. Now, this is not the chairman. This was not Jerome Powell, but one of the other board members he terminated. Terminated because she had put down two different residences as her primary residence, purchased a property, got a loan mortgage for it, said it was going to be her primary residence, and then months later purchased another property through a mortgage and said that was going to be her primary residence. And he states because this has the appearance of fraud, that's his just cause to fire a board of governor for the Federal Reserve Bank. Now, for those of you that don't know, and if you don't know this, folks, you need to catch up. Federal Reserve is not federal. It is not, and there's significance here, so just follow with me. I know you said, oh goodness, this sounds boring. I think there's more going on here than what is being told. I could be wrong. I may be overthinking this, but I think that there's something going on here. So I want to cover that. So just hold tight, all right? So the Federal Reserve Bank is a private entity. It is not federal. It's a private institution. But in their documents, founding documents, the President of the United States does have the authority to, he's the one that appoints them, or he nominates the board of directors, the board of governors for the Federal Reserve. And then there's a clause that says that he can remove them for just cause. And that's always been interpreted by the courts as there has to be some type of significant reason, that they have some type of significant conduct. It's typically not minor, right? So anyways, his argument is that it's just cause. That particular board of governor has fired back and says, you don't have the authority to do this. There's nothing that we've done wrong, and I'm going to continue to do my job. So there, thumb to nose at the president. Now, before we get into, and I really couldn't care less of who's right, who's wrong, which side we're going to support, honestly, that's irrelevant to me, because they're all on the same team, in the end, right? They're all playing for the same people in the end. What I think is going on here is something much bigger than interest rates, because a lot of people, this is he's going to get another one of his people on the board so we can drop, interest rates and stuff. I know that's it appears to be on the surface, but I think that there's something bigger going on here. And I don't necessarily believe that Donald Trump is the one that's concocted this plan. Not saying he's not capable of it, but this smells more like a Palantir, Peter Thiel, J.D. Vance, all of those kind of guys. So think about this. They really want to push the whole digital infrastructure. And a big key pinpoint thing that's important with all of that is digital currency, right? And as long as the Federal Reserve exists, the digital currency is going to, yes, the Fed can issue a digital, currency, which we've talked about that for the last few years, but it's not going to be the same thing, I think, from what they want. I think they want these stable coins and stuff, so it's a little different. And so there seems to be this kind of, I don't know, between the Federal Reserve and some of this technocracy. And I think that they're wanting to kind of shake things up, and there's probably people in control, that may not want it. I don't know. It's speculation. I get it. I could be completely off. But hear me out. So Trump makes this challenge. It's probably going to go to court. And one of two things. Either Trump is going to be proven to be correct, or it'll have to be proven that, Trump doesn't have authority over that because the Federal Reserve is a completely independent bank and it's not federal. And either one of those outcomes will show to the American people that, kind of the true whatever with the Federal Reserve. So vast majority of Americans believe that the Federal Reserve is just a part of the federal government. And so if it was exposed in court that the president doesn't have the authority to do this because the Federal Reserve is an independent entity, it could definitely shake things up with the perception. If the president is able to actually remove Board of Governors whenever, that's going to also weaken the Federal Reserve Bank. Now, I know I'm going way out on a limb with this speculation, but I think that there's a little bit more happening than just trying to get an interest rate lowered. Because, on the surface right now, what we're being told, interest rates probably could come down. But if you look forward 6 to 12 months with things that are happening, and I'm not supporting high interest rates, I'm just saying, according to how they calculate things, then it would make sense why they're not lowering interest rates. But I think that there's a lot more going on. I think they want to kind of shake things up at the Federal Reserve to push more for a digital future with the Fed, a digital currency. And I think the only way to do that, whether it be through Congress or through the Federal Reserve, is to kind of shake things up in its power hold and how things are done at the Federal Reserve. I don't think they want to do away with the Federal Reserve. I think they want to change it. I think they want to shake it up. And the Federal Reserve has been the same way for over 100 years since it was illegally and unconstitutionally conceived and put into power. And they want a new Federal Reserve. They want a new central banking system based completely on digital currency. And so I think that there's a strong possibility in play here that what we're watching is this power play. And it's not about necessarily Donald Trump gaining power because, and I'm not saying this to put Donald Trump down, okay? Regardless of what you think that I think of Donald Trump, I'm not trying to put him down. The fact is he's an older guy. He's never shown in any point in time that he has great understanding of all of this technology that's being pushed. He's just the mouthpiece. He's the talking head where all the power is going through. Everyone knows that all of this rapid advanced technology, AI infrastructure, it's all being pushed by people behind the scenes that's encouraging and compelling Trump to do this, right? And so I think this may be the same thing. Time will tell if I'm right or not. But with all the other stuff that's moving very rapidly right now, the kind of the power takeover of the American streets with law enforcement. I mean, Stephen Miller was on, I believe it was Fox, talking about how the United States, the central government, is the most supreme authority when it comes to law enforcement in American streets. And I'm like, what? Huh? You must be reading a different constitution than I am, because that's not at all. I mean, your county sheriff is the supreme authority when it comes to law enforcement. In fact, federal agents don't even have the authority and power to enforce local laws. So it's interesting the twists and turns that they're trying to make to implement a lot of this stuff. And I'm not saying these cities that they're talking about aren't riddled with crime and corruption. They absolutely are. But a larger, bigger, more powerful federal government with more law enforcement military capabilities has never been the answer. Just make that clear. It's never been the answer. So, there's just a lot happening. A lot. I mean, we got almost every day in the news, they're talking about this supposed alien ship that's coming at us from outer space at rapid speed that could be here to annihilate us. I mean, these are like Harvard professors and stuff talking about this. There's talking about all the peace that Donald Trump has brought upon the planet, but at the same time, declaring that we want to be the Department of War because we're getting ready to go to war and conquer all these other nations. And he said yesterday that he could completely destroy China if he wanted to. That he has the power to destroy China if he wanted to, but he's choosing not to. I highly doubt that that's the case. There's a lot of stuff at play. And then all these AI centers where they're collecting and processing all this data. It's going to consume so much water, and it will have a priority over your water, over the farmland and everything. It's a nightmare of stuff that's happening, and it's happening fast. And this Federal Reserve thing, I think, may just be one piece of the puzzle, but it's a pretty significant piece. And we need to be paying attention to this stuff and pushing ourselves to get more ready, more prepared, and do it faster. Because things are getting to that point that I think we're getting close to a critical area. Folks, it's time to get your houses in order and to prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.